Hey everybody,
Howdy.
Merry Christmas y'all. We are making some Christmas candy tonight, and we're going to make one that several of you guys have asked for the recipe, so here it's going to be for you. These are called Martha Washington balls. Have you ever had them?
I'm pretty sure I've had them, but I don't think I've ever made them.
Okay, so this recipe, y'all, will make between 10 and 12 dozen. So I don't know.
That's a lot of
candy balls. But I think you could cut it in half. But here's the thing, Deb. They're so good, you're going to wish you'd made more.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well,
they're that good.
And you were saying something about freezing them too, right?
Yes. So every year I make this huge recipe, and half of them we freeze. And then that way Tink can go to the freezer and get him 5 or 6 of them out and eat them. You know, we eat them all through January. So, but if you love coconut, if you love Mounds bars.
I do.
Yes. And if you love, now these have pecans in them. So now you don't have to put pecans in them. You could leave the nuts out.
Leave them out all? Oh, okay.
But I don't. I love them with the pecans. It's just a perfect combination of coconut and pecans and sugar and yum yum.
And chocolate.
And Eagle brand milk.
So, that would be I guess you could just do half of a can if you have to, right? That's what you have to do with that.
Just half the ingredients in half.
Okay. Half them in half.
Half them in half, y'all. So anyway, we're going to get started.
You need a big bowl.
This is a huge Tupperware bowl.
Start with a big bowl.
I don't know what size this is, but it's a big one, y'all. It's a big one. So I don't know what that is in it.
I think it was the powdered sugar.
Okay. So I use my hands. So here's what we do. First, we've got 2 sticks of butter.
Oh, where's the other one? I'll open one for you.
Okay. Which is 1 cup. And it says butter or margarine. I always use butter.
Softened.
And it's been sitting out on the counter, and then I even put it on my soften in the microwave. So there's your butter. And then to that, we're going to start adding our powdered sugar. And I'm going to add about half of this bag.
This is a 2-pound bag.
It's a 2-pound bag, so it takes 2 pounds of powdered sugar.
But we're just going to do half of it, get it mixed up a little bit, and then add some more.
I'm going to start mixing it with my hands, y'all. Just mixing it in there.
And there's not a lot of ingredients. I kind of like that.
I do too. There's not a ton of ingredients. There's no weird spices that you don't have or anything like that. So I'm just going to kind of mash my butter up in there, y'all.
This is the best time of year for all these kind of candy and snacky foods.
Okay, now I've got that butter kind of incorporated into it. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the powdered sugar now. You don't have to sift it. You could if you wanted to, but there's really not any reason to. So, woohoo! This can make a mess, so
be prepared.
Be prepared.
It's okay. It'll clean up.
Now, there's no cooking to this.
That's another great thing.
The only thing you turn your stove on for is we've got chocolate melting. Debbie, why don't you take that camera over there while I'm doing this? Let them see our chocolate in a double broiler. If you don't have a double broiler, you know that little chocolate pot we showed you a couple of weeks ago when we were making our chocolate spoons and things. Yeah. You can use one of those. Or if you don't have a double broiler or one of those pots, you can use just a saucepan and put a skillet on top of it. Put you some water in your saucepan and get it boiling, and then put your skillet on and melt your chocolate.
Now that chocolate was chocolate chips, right?
Yes, those are semi-sweet chocolate chips, and there's 2 bags because it takes a lot of chocolate for all these Martha Washington balls.
And then what else did you do to do the chocolate, though?
Okay, so some of y'all aren't going to like this, but the recipe calls for 1 block of paraffin. So this is Gulf wax. I don't know if you've ever used that or not, but what that does is that makes your chocolate where it will harden on the balls.
So you definitely need to use that if you're using chocolate chips.
If you don't, you're just going to have a soft chocolate on
so
there.
So if would you use like the chocolate you can get at the grocery store. What's that? Candy
like the
melt.
wafers, the Wilton
Yeah,
melts.
yeah. Would you use that? Could you use that?
Yeah, you could. But this recipe calls for semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Okay, gotcha.
Because they're dark chocolate, and that's what we
couldn't
want.
find that little. Might be
it's in the sink. Maybe it's in the
dishwasher. Maybe
we might have put it in the dishwasher.
So I just got a spoon.
We were
to get
looking
that
for
way.
a little spatula, y'all.
We have a little one that works perfectly in these little cans.
Yes.
Yes, Pampered Chef.
Pampered Chef. It is Pampered Chef. You know it, baby.
So I knew somebody was thinking that. I wonder if it's Pampered Chef.
Okay, so I think we got as much as we're going to get out. Now this is where it gets really fun, y'all. So I'm still going to mix with my hands.
Yeah, the bowl's half full, and we've only got half the ingredients in there.
We don't have the coconut in there yet. Okay, I feel like my mother-in-law, when she used to make biscuits, that's how she made her biscuits.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, a big bowl of flour.
I want you to put one of those bags of coconut in here.
We got two 14-ounce bags because it takes 28 ounces of coconut.
Yummy,
but that's the main thing of this cookie is the coconut. So
candy,
of course, candy. Yes.
That's right. So these are really good.
Pile of chopped nuts. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of chopped pecans.
Yes,
16-ounce bag.
1 pound bag, or 1 pound of pecans. Somebody that really likes to get your hands messy, y'all gonna love this. Now, if you don't, I don't know how you're gonna make this, honestly, because you could use a spoon, but it'd be very difficult. Y'all notice I took off my wedding rings and everything. Took off my watch.
We don't want to be eating a ring inside of our candy.
And I don't want it all in my rings.
We'd have to dig down
Go ahead and put the other one.
All right. Here goes another bag of coconut.
Okay. It's going to be all of our coconut.
The bowl wants to move around.
Yes, it does.
This could be a 2-person
usually I put this down in my big sink, in the big one down there, and I mix it in the sink.
That way it won't go anywhere.
Yep,
that's a great tip.
In the sink. Crazy, isn't it?
It's hard to believe that it's actually going to take that much, but it's getting incorporated there.
When you make 10 or 12 dozen, it takes a lot of stuff.
And that depends on how big you make them. If you like them to be big,
you definitely could half this, y'all. If you don't want to, I like to have a lot to give away. So I take bags of it to work, and people really love it.
Are your hands getting tired?
They are. And then we
still got the nuts to mix in.
Why don't you go ahead and put them in there?
All right, here goes this 16-ounce bag of chopped pecans.
You can leave out the pecans, y'all, but honestly don't. Because it really makes the candy.
Would you like for me to get in?
Yeah,
do some?
Go ahead, wash your hands.
Okay.
I guess they're clean already.
Probably, but
I always like to make sure, I'm bad to touch my hair or something when I'm cooking. So I made sure I didn't today.
Okay, clean hands.
Okay, clean hands. What's that? Clean hands, warm heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that's cold hands, warm heart. Okay, I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to...
I just dropped it.
I feel like Brenda Gant making her biscuits. She always shows you how to take the stuff off your hands.
It makes me want to take a bite of it, though.
It's very good. We're going to do that in a minute.
Do you have to put this into the refrigerator once we roll them into balls?
Well, what I normally do, Deb, is I roll them into balls and put them on a cookie sheet. And I stick them in the freezer for a few minutes.
Okay.
That way, when I dip them in the chocolate, they don't try to fall apart on me.
Okay.
So that's just a little helpful hint there.
So why don't we finish mixing this up and come back whenever we're dipping them into the chocolate.
We'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah. So we've got our mixture, Martha Washington balls all mixed up. And now we're making them into balls. Mm-hmm. And what'd you say? An inch?
I don't know.
You could make them really big if you want to, but I think if they're too big, They're so sweet that's probably going to be too much
rich,
for, they're so rich that it's going to be too much for one. So
making them pretty small.
And then they're going to go into the refrigerator, right?
We're going to put them in the freezer for a few minutes and get them good and
kind of hardened.
Yeah.
Firm.
And then we will start dipping them in our chocolate.
So we will come back to show you the dipping.
Be right back. Okay, guys, we've got our Martha Washington candy rolled into balls. So here's a secret thing that I use to dip candy with. These are just the regular bamboo skewers like you grill with, and I use those to dip my candy.
Oh, okay.
Because it gives you a nice long thing to
work with. Look how pretty it comes out.
And it comes out pretty, and then I take a second one and I just
look at
do
that.
it like that, and it goes really fast. So Deb and I are going to be dipping these. We're gonna double team it to get these done, and then we'll come back and show you
a bunch of.
We'll do a little taste test.
Okay, we'll be back.
Be right back. Yummy, yummy. The Martha
Washington
Washington balls are ready. So we have dipped them, and they are good to go.
Dipped them, and then just let them set for a few minutes. Let it harden. So I'm ready to try one. I'm ready for.
On my face because I ate one. Now Debbie's going to try one.
I haven't had one yet, so I'm going to taste one.
And of course, they get better as you keep them in the refrigerator.
They do?
Yeah. Isn't that good?
So good.
So you do need to keep these refrigerated because they have the milk in them, and they have the butter and the milk. So keep them in the refrigerator, and then take them out and eat them.
It tastes just like a candy bar.
It tastes like a Mounds, doesn't it?
It really does.
Probably if you didn't have the pecans in there, it would taste just like a Mounds, I bet.
Wow. It's awfully close as it is.
I like the pecans in there, though. I love that. So y'all make these. Your family will love them. You can fix little bags of them, tie a ribbon on them, and they're great gifts for neighbors or school teachers or whomever you desire to bless with some coconut balls.
Yummy, yummy.
All right.
Try them, y'all.
Recipe will be in the post. So we'll see y'all soon. Merry Christmas.